In Season 2 of Superman and Lois, Alliston's true identity has been quite mysterious. She led the Inverse cult, trying to merge the bizarro world with the mainstream Earth. It caused some to think she might be Granny Goodness, an emissary of Darkseid, and that her pendants linked to the anti-life equation, while others felt she may even be a remix of Eclipso. But there is more to the picture than that. People weren't expecting to be greeted by another Parasite, especially since one was already introduced in Supergirl. But after a lot of building up, it was finally revealed that she was the power-leeching monster and not Grandma Nana. We know that Superman beat Allie in the show with a bit of help, but I want to see how Supes can hold up even if he went on his own. To that end, we'll be using some references from comics, so let's get into it. We have seen Parasites in the Arrowverse before, so how are Superman and Supergirl's Parasites different? The first Parasite on Supergirl was Dr. Rudy Jones, a climatologist working at a remote research facility in Norway. It was here that Dr. Jones became infected by an alien worm who had been hibernating within the frozen body of its previous host, a wolf. The worm empowered Dr. Jones, giving him Parasite's famous energy-draining touch. It also made him start referring to himself in the third person, much like Eddie Brock's symbiote pal. Supergirl Season 4 episode Parasite Lost reveals that Agent Jensen, a treacherous DEO agent who betrayed the agency to join the anti-alien militia run by Agent Liberty, has become infected by the same kind of alien worm and is seen to be fighting Supergirl and holding his own. Now, since Bizarro is involved in this Superman and Lois series involving Alliston, Bizarro has his own complicated origin story, so we cannot be sure about Parasite here. As per DC Comics, Granny Goodness is the prime henchman of the Lord of Apocalypse. Goodness joined Darkseid in his many intergalactic endeavors and has clashed with Superman numerous times. Having last made an appearance on Smallville Season 10, she is a formidable foe with an army of female Furies under her command. Although Granny Goodness can be a good launchpad for introducing Darkseid, it is unlikely that Alliston is Granny Goodness. The best way for Superman to defeat the Parasite, given that Superman doesn't have enough psionic control over his powers, is to either be fast, smart, or simply throw things at the Parasite. Truth of the matter is that given Superman access to Kryptonian technology, things like kryptonite and even characters that can drain powers like the Parasite does, shouldn't be a problem at all. Let me show you how clear that is and how writers don't even bother to hide that from their viewers. You'll see that Prime Superman and Supergirl both can create suits made of Kryptonian technology that can transform into other suits that can block kryptonite, red solar energy, and other things. When necessary, Kryptonian technology can be used to block off the draining powers of characters like the Parasite. So, making a suit of Kryptonian Sunstone technology shouldn't be any problem. A suit that would not only help remove all of Superman's vulnerabilities, with perhaps the exception of magic, but that could also help him keep his powers activated indefinitely. The only reason why DC Comics doesn't do that to Superman is very easy to understand. He would be unstoppable if he had such a suit. Thor has his hammer, Superman would have his suit. No weaknesses, no easy exploits. The only characters that could take on Superman would be those as powerful as him or more powerful. And that would reduce his rogue gallery by 99.9%, meaning that DC Comics would need to come up with better and more credible threats to Superman, and that would demand time and creativity. Creativity sometimes being an issue in DC Comics. And so, they prefer to create an even more fictional situation, where Superman is vulnerable to things and enemies he shouldn't be vulnerable to. I mean, Superman can actively drain and absorb more energy than all the energy in the galaxy and even the universe without any special suit to help him out. But he can't stop the Parasite from draining his powers. That is PIS to like 200%. So yeah, Superman can handle the Parasite in many ways. Some so easy that it would make the Parasite look like no threat at all. But just because he has those different ways doesn't mean that a writer won't simply forget about them if he needs Supes to be put in a bad situation. At this point in time, the Parasite should be no threat to Superman. The only reason he still is a threat is because of PIS and nothing else. But that's not how it played out in the Superman and Lois TV series. Talro tried to stop Allie from merging the worlds, and Allie began to absorb powers from him, but Jordan Kent appeared and stopped her. When John Henry Irons and Natalie Lane Irons tried to destroy the portals, Allie tried to kill them, but Soups was there to save the day. Allie tried to absorb his powers again, but this overwhelmed her and caused her to split, causing her to lose her powers and fall from the stratosphere. But after finally merging with her counterpart, Allie became increasingly self-righteous and immoral, doing as she pleased with no concern about others. Essentially dropping her benevolent demeanor, she was willing to kill whoever she had to for her goals. Ultimately, this new, even more shameless nature came from a newfound feeling of dread and being different from others. Now only wanted to make everyone merge with their respective counterparts just to not be alone, even though she knew they would be no happier in this existence than she is. The source of her powers came from an inherited pendant from her family that is able to pass an individual from one dimension to another or merge them with their shadow self. Mitch Anderson gave her her inverse world counterpart's pendant, but the pendants were later stolen by Anderson when he went to the inverse world. Eventually, Anderson fused the pendants and gave it to Jonathan L. to go to Earth TUD-25 and fuse with his counterpart. Clark resorted to desperate measures, asking his brother to throw him directly into the sun in the hopes of supercharging his powers. And wouldn't you know it, Clark's plan worked, giving him enough juice to split the parasite back into two powerless halves. Of course, none of this would be possible if John Henry and Natalie, the real heroes around here, hadn't already sacrificed the power in their suits to blast Allie and stop the merge in the first place. So, there you are guys. I hope this video offers some good insight. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to KRTV Marvel for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.